Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new process video for PinkFresh Studio. And today we're going to do something really fun with leftover pieces and featuring the new Ornate circle. This is a frame, and I wanted to make it the center of my layout. So I've cut 3 out of white cardstock, and I make sure that I cut it completely out of it, because you can create only just have the edges pop up in the card, but I want it to be completely, think of it of a sun. So I've cut 3 of them and I'm stacking them together so that it forms like a sturdy frame. That's pretty much my idea. I'm gonna back the empty space of the center of the ornate circle with my picture, and that's a black and white picture of my daughter. I love this picture. I transform it from all the greenery behind it to black and white because I wanna add a rainbow. So I am using the leftover piece, the negative piece of the center cut of the ornate circle to just create my circle picture. I want to make sure that you only goes inside the little frame, and then again a little bit of glue on the back of the ornate frame die, and then I'm going to glue it straight onto my photo, and I have pretty much my focal point ready. Now here's where the fun part is going to start, and the only thing that I realized is that I didn't tape the part where I actually went ahead and used the Ornate Medallions cover plate to emboss 4 cover plates. So just that part is missing of the video. Like I said, I've used the Ornate Medallions cover die to emboss 4 cover plates out of white cardstock. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm literally gonna play with pieces or leftover pieces. I want to create a rainbow in a kind of fun way. Think of it as a sunburst. So you're gonna see that I'm pretty much gonna go through my stash, and I'm gonna pull papers from the Happy Heart collection and also Life Right Now, and I'm gonna make sure that I cut triangles but that have like a curvature on the smaller side. And then I am actually gonna cut triangles out of the Ornate Medallions cover plate. Maybe, like I mentioned, I'm gonna say I did around 4 cover plate cardstocks, and I cut them into triangles. Not an exact science or measurement, just cut it into triangles. And what I want to do is I want to add color onto these triangles using inks, and I want to make sure that the colors match that ones of the papers. So you're gonna see for this one I am adding mint. At the beginning I went and actually cut that curvature just like the one I was using for my circles, but when I put it together it doesn't make sense. I want something that is going to be opposite of what I have. So if I have a curvature on the pattern papers, I'm gonna make sure that the triangles have a straight line. So you're gonna see I like that better. I like that juxtaposition of that nice smooth pattern paper to that texture color of the cover plate triangles. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna form my rainbow. You're gonna see that I'm gonna bring leftover pieces of paper, and like I said, I'm gonna use papers from Happy Heart and also Live Right Now, and I'm gonna use the triangle that I have already out of the paper that you saw me cut as kind of my pattern for all the others. And you're gonna see that some are gonna be a little bit longer, and that's okay with me because I don't want a perfect arch. I'm actually gonna play with it. So you're gonna see that I am actually gonna build my pattern paper rainbow first before I move on to the next page. So I already have that green. I put some blue. I'm gonna put some of the yellow, those and that kind of orangey kind of corally tone. Those 2 papers are from Happy Heart. The green one is from Happy Heart. The light blue one is from Life Right Now. The pink one right now that I'm gonna cut is from Happy Heart, and the B side has actually a nice blue that's also from Happy Heart. Then I'm pulling a teal from Life Right Now, and the last blue, the one with the stripes, is also from Life Right Now, and that blue is tends to be more towards the purple. So that's what I went with, different tones of blue too. So you're gonna see now that I have all my rainbow, and it's a really muted color. I wanted something really light for this, and I'm just going to, I find that I needed a teal in the middle, so I went and pulled this paper from the Happy Heart collection, and it's kind of like a greenish teal, but it's a nice in between the green and the blues. So now that I have my rainbow, it's a muted one like I said before, I'm gonna go ahead and start working in all those pieces of the cover plate, and I'm using once again the Ornate Medallions cover plate. I've embossed around 4 pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to cut them into triangles. And here's where I want to add color. I want to add color, so kind of in an ombre fashion, something that is darker towards the center to the tip of the triangle, and then lighten it as it goes outside. So I'm starting for the pink. I am using ballet slipper and a little bit of Pinkalicious, maybe Pinkalicious towards the center darker, and I want to kind of lighten up as it kind of spreads out. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking of a starburst, so I'm gonna work on that. For that corally kind of yellowish tone, I'm gonna start with a little bit of coral reef towards the center or the tip of the triangle, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of peach fuzz to the outside, kind of the wider part of the triangle. That's just gonna give me the same tone as the paper. And then I'm gonna continue working for the yellow. I'm gonna use Lemon Whip, and the name of the second one escapes my mind, but I'm gonna use the 2 tones of yellow. I just wanted something really light, but I wanted something a little bit more vibrant because I'm actually gonna kind of hide some of these pieces. For the green, I am using, this is Fresh Pear. I just wanted something that was a true green. Remember, there's different shades of the inks of a PinkFresh Studio, so I'm going with this is Fresh Pear just because it has a true green effect. And then for the next piece, I already had that one that I added mint. I'm gonna add a little bit of Ocean Breeze just to make it more into the teal side of things. I want something that creates a transition between the green and the blue, so a teal is a nice place. Then I'm gonna go into sky blue because I want that true blue. And then for my last piece, I'm gonna use this lumber because like I said before, that's more like a purplish blue, and that completes my rainbow. It's a super soft rainbow. Like I said, I want darker towards the center and lining up as the triangle kind of expands or opens up. Once I have all my pieces ready, then it's all gonna be about assembly, and the assembly is gonna take no time to put together, no time to assemble, but it's gonna take time to like glue it in place. So you're gonna see when I have all my pieces in here, I have my nice soft rainbow, something really light and bright. And now for my base, I'm actually going to use white cardstock. I am going to make sure that I mark the center lines. You're going to see that I'm going to use the grid that I have on my mat just to help me mark the center point. So I'm going to mark it at 6 by 6, and then I know exactly where my frame, my little ornate circle, is going to sit. So now that I have that in place, it's all about putting my pieces together. And the way that I want to work my rainbow is, I think of embossed paper, then pattern paper, embossed paper, pattern paper, in that order, starting from at the very top with the embossed pink paper, and then behind it the pink pattern paper, and then continue working. Now remember, when I cut my triangles, I just cut them straight off my my cover plate dies in this case. So now what I'm gonna do is use my scissors just to give the triangle kind of a softer line. So you can see that I'm gonna cut a little bit of the top, and that's just gonna help me with that kind of rotation of the paper too. So all I'm doing right now is just gonna see, I'm gonna start putting it together. Like I said, assembling this, it takes no time because it's just a matter, I want to make sure that the pattern paper and the embossed cover plate pieces, they kind of overlap each other. Like I said, I want to make sure that you see cover plate, pattern paper, cover plate, like, you know, in that order. So once I have everything in place, and my idea at the beginning was just to use half, but then realized that it was too tight, and then a lot of the details were gonna get lost. So instead, you're gonna see that I'm going to just kind of move it a little bit more, so kind of close the circle a little bit more, and I'm okay with that. Actually works out better for this. Right now it's just super tight. You're gonna see that I'm gonna start opening up a little bit. That means that my blue and my pink, which are the ones that are sitting right at half line supposedly, are just gonna move more towards the right. So kind of think of it as enclosing the sea. Now here's where it took me a little bit longer. I'm gonna make sure that I add some strong glue, in this case double-sided tape, to the center of the triangle, so think we're at the center of the paper, and then I'm gonna add foam adhesive to the corners that are sitting outside towards the edges of the paper. So it took me some time because I wanted to make sure that I overlap. I wanted to make sure that when I added foam adhesive, I was actually attaching it to the base and the paper. So it took me a little bit of time to put this together, but like I said, once I had the formation, it was just about lifting paper, adding foam adhesive, make sure that I added some glue so that the centers are well glued onto the cardstock. And I'm gonna take it off camera because you've already seen it, and I'm just gonna continue working on that. This is probably what took me the longest. Once I have all that, actually from the center, because I had overlapped all the pieces, it kind of became a little bit chunky. So you're gonna see with the scissors, I'm just gonna cut a little piece of like the tips of the triangles. That's just gonna help to make it a little bit more of an even surface for my little circular frame. And one of the things that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back the picture with one of the leftover circles from the die cut. And here you're gonna see that I'm actually gonna go ahead and cut those little tips of the triangles. I'm gonna go ahead and glue my little frame right on the center, but when I glued it, I realized that the left hand side, which is where I have all those pieces of cardstock, is just adding a little bit of dimension, obviously because of all the bulk of the cardstock. So I just added a little piece of foam adhesive towards the right of the photo, and that just balanced it out. Now I wanted to bring a little bit of flowers. Think of it as trying to close that circle. So I went into the Happy Heart collection. I have the flower ephemera. I had like 3 packs one that I bought, 2 that I bought, and one that I got. So I just combined them all together, and I have that's all that I have left over. So I'm gonna pull all the little blue flowers that I could find, just to kind of continue the color blocking motion that I'm creating on the page, and I'm gonna put them towards the bottom of the page. Now at the top, I'm gonna go with like a little bit of flowers, and I'm gonna get something that has a little bit of pink and the fuchsia, a little bit of orange, just because the flowers are gonna sit in that area. I'm gonna make sure to add some of the leaves just to elongate and kind of help me with the movement of the page. Again, I'm gonna add some foam adhesive behind the images just to make sure that there's some lift and some dimension in between the pictures. Once I have that, it's all about adding my title. For that, I'm actually gonna combine alphas and some of the title ephemera pack from Happy Heart. So I found the word beautiful, and actually what drew me to it is the fact that it actually has a rainbow in it. So I thought I want that to be the focus of my title. So I'm gonna add some foam adhesive and put it right to the side of the frame, and then I'm using the gold alpha stickers from Happy Heart just to add the word my beautiful, and then the next word is gonna be you. And for that, I'm gonna use the teal alpha from, it's not teal, it's like kind of minty, from the Life Right Now collection. So I love the combination of the gold and the different alphas. After that, I'm actually gonna bring stickers from the Happy Heart cardstock stickers. I just want to add a little bit of sentiment. I'm gonna add one right next to the blue flowers at the bottom. I'm gonna add another little fuchsia one at the top corner, and then a little orange one to the left of the picture. Now I wanted something that was gonna help me with the movement, so I went into the small butterflies stamp set. I actually, whenever I create a project, I have extra pieces left over, so I put them inside my packs. And I had these ones that were created out of vellum, and I embossed with gold embossing powder. So I'm gonna pull a few of them. I'm gonna put 2 next to the blue part at the bottom, and I'm using glue dots to attach them because it's vellum. I'm gonna put 2 next to that yellow kind of orange part on the top left corner of the picture, and then I'm just gonna add 1 to the flowers because I'm already kind of busy there. After that, I went into the jewels mix, and all I'm gonna do is just gonna start sprinkling some of the jewels. I kind of think of a color blocking it. I want to bring more of, or accent the colors that I have. So I gotta make sure that I put my gems in between the pieces of paper, just also to create some more of that dimension. And I'm gonna make sure that I go with the glacier, which are the white ones, around the butterflies, just to kind of think of it creating the trail the butterflies left behind. And I'm gonna go ahead and just glue them all in place, and that's about it. This was a super fun to put together. This took no time. I had the idea, and then once I started working on it, it just came together super fast. I love how the colors mix. I love the texture of the paper. I love the ink, the combination of it. I love the fact that it's light and airy, and I hope you like it. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Remember to check the channel and subscribe to it, because there's always lots of contents being added. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys.